Hey, Jeff, I don't know what I'm thinking. What's wrong with me, man?
What do you mean?
Another
what's
show?
Some folks, they've got a car they work on out in the driveway every now and again. Some other folks have a garden. You've got podcasts.
Yeah, this is a replacement of my life, podcasts. So for those who don't know who I am, I'm Carl Franklin, and I can't say I invented podcasts, but I was around at the beginning, and I'm still going. .NET Rocks has been going since 2002, which is 2 years before the word podcast was invented by Adam Curry.
Remember grabbing from an FTP server some audio files to listen to.
Yep, been a long time. And then I've gone on to do Blazor Train and the .NET Show and Security This Week and some other things, but the AI Bot Show is another one that I just started. But this is going to be completely different. But before we tell everybody what this is, tell me about you, Jeff Fritz. Who are you?
Hey there, my name's Jeff. I write code on the web for a living. You might have seen I do this thing on Twitch where I write code live and I interact. I listen to all the folks that are watching and respond to them, build cool applications together. And for the last 3 or 4 years, I've been building applications with Blazor, that next generation web technology from the .NET folks, to run code in the browser, on a server, in a mobile app. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to what we do with this show.
So for those who don't know, I first met Jeff at a Tech Ed, was it? At a Speaker Idol?
Yep, 2012.
Yeah, so Speaker Idol was this thing that Richard Campbell and I did at Tech Ed for Microsoft, and we're not Microsoft employees. You are now, but you did this 5-minute presentation. I think it was testing JavaScript, which
That's
those
right.
two words never went together in the same sentence before then.
It was testing JavaScript for Windows 8 applications.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, you joined Microsoft after being with a couple other tool companies and
Sure.
haven't looked back. And now you're a PM, right?
Yes.
In the .NET space. What's your
I'm a
official
program
title?
manager. I am a principal program manager on the .NET and Community DevTools team. I take care of doing live streaming, building tutorials, workshops for all the .NET tools, and I produce a little conference called .NET Conf.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard that, but
You might have heard of that.
it's the virtual version of TechEd and PDC, what used to be that, and all of those things combined.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really great.
Thank you.
Look forward to it every year.
Big event, 3 days, every November, where we're going to introduce new versions of .NET, talk about the cool new technologies that are coming out, and have a good time in a fun way that we developers can appreciate.
Totally.
Cut through all the marketing chatter, and let's have fun and learn about the cool new tech.
And, what a great segue to the Blazor puzzle, because that's exactly what we're trying to do here. Okay, well, you're not going to learn anything, all right? No,
Well,
you're going to learn two idiots trying to make a show. That's what you're going to learn. But
I think there's an opportunity for folks to see, hey, you know what? I had that bug. Here's
I'm
how to
kidding.
fix
Yeah,
this.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we are going to have fun. And here's how it's going to go down. We're going to show you an app like this one. And maybe you've seen this one before, but you haven't really seen what we've done to it.
This is my favorite app to build. I sometimes call it Blazor App 1 or Blazor App 2 or Blazor App 3.
Right. until you run out of numbers, and then Visual Studio says, hey, you might want to clean some of these up. But anyway, so we're going to show you something, and there's going to be a question that we'll ask and a problem to be solved, or maybe it's going to be a code challenge. Maybe it's here's some code, do this. Make it do that, okay? This one is an existing app, and we're going to show it to you. We're going to run it, and then we're going to show you the code and show you where the repo is and ask the question, what's wrong with this code? Okay?
And I think what's interesting about this first puzzle is this is a problem that other developers have stumbled onto, and
Right.
it's good to be able to identify this problem.
I also have to say that, well, what if you figure it out? What do you do? Well, you send, first of all, we may have another more sophisticated mechanism in the future, but for now, you're going to send me an email, carl@appvnext.com, with your solution. And of all the right solutions, we're going to pick one, and that lucky winner will get I won't say a treasure trove of prizes because it's just one lousy mug. But if we can, we'll have you on the show, and you can tell us how you figured it out if you want. If you don't want, that's fine. Just take your mug and scram.
And hey, this is only going to be open until that next episode comes through.
That's right.
It's cool to be able to watch and catch up and see some of the older puzzles. If you're watching this sometime in 2024 and later, and hey, I want to go solve that, I know how to solve that, it's probably already been solved and there might be a solution already. So check if the next episode is out.
But you can test yourself, right?
Yes.
You can go and try to solve it yourself and then watch the next one and see if you got it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so here it is. It's Hello World. And we've got a counter, and this is where the counter page differs a little bit. What I've got is a timer, and you give it the interval in seconds, and when you say click me, instead of just incrementing it once, it starts a timer process and disables everything, and then the timer increments the counter. Okay?
Okay, that's kind of cool. I mean, it is more of a timer than a counter, the number of seconds since you press the button. Okay, I get it.
Right, and here's what's cool. So I can go home, and I can come back, and now I can do one for, let's say, 5 seconds. Right?
Okay.
And now every 5 seconds it will increment. So, it works. So what could be wrong with it? Well, let's take a look at the code. All right, so this is the counter page, and we have a system timer counter, got my current count, and I've got a input that's a number type and bound to this int right here, interval, right?
Okay.
So far, so good. So then I have a button that calls increment count, just like you're used to. And now we increment the counter. We set this disabled button to true. Then I'm using the attribute disabled, the regular HTML attribute, and setting that to at button disabled. So the whole idea is once you click the button, you shouldn't be able to click it again. That would be silly.
That's a good prevent double clicking. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, sure. So then we create the timer from the interval number of seconds, right? Because I say interval in seconds, and it's bound to this variable.
I see. I know the problem. There it is right there. Carl, I got the problem solved. Call it in. That mug is mine.
You're not supposed to solve it.
I can make it a half second and break this.
Yeah, well,
right?
that's true. Because it's an int. If you
Do I
put
win?
0.5, you're right. That is, however, not the problem we're looking for.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah. So I didn't sanitize the input.
That's okay.
All right, so then I start the timer, and when the timer elapses, I increment the count, okay? That's it. So the question is, what's wrong, besides what Jeff said, what's wrong with this code? In fact, you should repeat the exact same steps that I did in order to figure out the problem. All right, so how you can run this is go to github.com/carlfranklin/blazorpuzzle1. And we're actually going to have blazorpuzzle.com up and running. So you can go there if you don't have this link, and you can either clone the repo or download the zip file and expand it, run it, and if you figure out the problem, send your answer by email to me, carl@appvnext.com, and the next show, we will pick a winner, and we'll send them a coveted Blazor Puzzle coffee mug. That's it.
It's dark mode. You don't have dark mode enabled in GitHub. That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah. I love dark mode, but for some reason I don't have it on GitHub. Oh, well. All right. Well, I can't guarantee that we'll have one next week, but here's the thing. This is the time when we can do this because weekly, because we're coming up on a new version of .NET, And a lot of the stuff for .NET 7 and Blazor and Maui, like the .NET show that I've been doing, has already been covered. So this is a good time to do this. Can't say weekly, but next time we'll find out who won and we'll give you another puzzle.
Now, in this issue that we're looking at is covered. It is the same issue whether you're in .NET 6, .NET 7, or .NET 8. You're going to run into the exact same thing if you were in any of those versions of Blazor.
Yep, that's right. Okay, go to it, kids. We'll see you next time.
Take care.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out blazortrain.com and the .NETshow.com for more great content.